Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for the brand new video, and the vocal cords are straining today and it is a little bit sore, and you might be sitting here saying, oh no, here's his Nasher again getting sick of the sight of the guy, but at least it's some good news, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? It's no negativity, it's no something to be worried about regarding our club, it's no something bad it's happening. In my opinion, it's very good. There's excitement, there is joy, and I think that excitement and joy should build the longer you watch today's video, as I really think you're going to like this one, if I'm being honest with you. But before we go anywhere near that rabbit hole, as always, it's time to throw the old arms out and welcome the latest and newest arrival to the football club, Mr. Thelo Aasgaard, who, if he is half as good as his name, by God, we're on to a winner. And I'll be honest, sometimes when you film something, you say, did I even say words there? I don't know if I just made up my own language towards the end there, but we're carrying on with today's video, as there is a hell of a lot to talk about. And again, you all know the script by now. We're going to go ahead and dive right into the player profile. We're going to look at the numbers and stats and talk about the old competition for places, so each and every single person that's tuning in to today's video will hopefully leave knowing a little bit more about our latest signing. And hell, if you are a wee bit like, what the hell are we doing? Oh my God, it's another English player. We'll get there, don't worry about it. What are we doing? It should all flip round, as I think, again, most people will be very happy regarding this one. So if you didn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. And hell, if you didn't mind subscribing as well, as we're closing in on 67,000 subscribers, which is absolutely nuts. But thank you all for supporting me. I certainly didn't deserve it, but by God, every single season you're right here with me, and I couldn't thank you enough for it. But I'm sure all you are screaming, right, CJ, just get on with the song and dance. Well, give me a microphone, Matthew, because I'm about to get going. I know, I need to stop doing references that nobody understands. I get it. I'm getting older. But starting off with the old player profile, Thelo Aasgaard is a 23-year-old attacking midfielder who is very comfortable with playing on either wings as well. Especially that left wing role where he's had a hell of a lot of success in his career. And I think when you look at the Rangers team, and I think the way you try to picture it and build it in your mind of what Russell Martin is wanting, it's certainly a place you can see him slotting in and being hell of a effective. How effective, and what does he do with the ball? Where it's raw creativity. It is a bit of imagination. It's a skill on the dribble. It's a tight little touch with the ball. It's flicking, it's nutmegs, it's opening the play up and driving at the opposition. The best way I can summarise it, he's a bum off seat style player. And I think that's the perfect description I've got. Thelo is, that's the exact type a player is. And I think if you look at Rangers over the last couple of years, what you've saw is a decline of that excitement as we've become hell of a lot more robotic and reliant on the long ball, and the creativity has been ripped right out of our team. The likes say Ryan Kent when he was on it, even Hadji when he was on it, and even Cherny last year. You look at our squad now, and do you really see that dribbling ability? Do you really see that creativity? I know there's a big question mark regarding Oscar Cortez, but for me there's no too many, and honestly I don't think you can have too many creative imagination style players, and that's exactly what we're bringing in. And I think the excitement that he'll bring to this team is the same as the players that we've just mentioned when they were at their very best, because when it clicks for him and when he's really in it, the game, and when he's on it, it makes defenders look absolutely silly, and he's either scoring screamers, he's putting it on the plate, or he's just straight up embarrassing defenders so badly they need to rip him down, which then sets up dangerous set pieces, and he even wins penalty kicks, baby. James Henry is celebrating somewhere the night. Was that Tav coughing? Now the kid is primarily a right footer, but again very similar to Kent and Hadji. If I'm honest with you, they've got that flexibility and unpredictable nature with being so strong on their left foot. I'm sure you've already hit YouTube by now. I'm sure you've already watched some highlights. You can see there is goals with the left foot, there's goals with the right foot, there's assists with the left foot, and there's goals with the right foot. And that breaks up the dribble as well, because he can go down the line or he can cut inside, and if he drifts in the centre, it's an absolute nightmare, because not only has he got the wee touch and tight control where he can put it in between your legs, how many of them did you see? He can hit it with the left if he creates the half yard, or he can hit it with the right. And you think about low block City and the stuff we really struggle to break down, where we pretty much lost the league versus the rest of the league. A record versus Celtic was alright last year. That's not where it was won and lost. It was won and lost against everybody else, and that's because we didn't have the creative spark. We never had that ability to really break down these teams and hurt them and cause havoc. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, not to put too much pressure on him, but I think he's a wee hurricane in the middle of the park, and when it goes right, again, It's glorious to watch. And something else that's glorious, by the way, is the way this kid's took his career and just kicked it into overdrive, and the progression you've been able to see, especially in the last 12 months, where for me, he's kicked it into a new level, and you can see how valuable the game time he's had year upon year upon year has is to shape him as a player. And then again, that progression that jump up, because he was always a sort of League One exciting talent. Again, he's a young kid, he's a young laddie. He was one that was highly touted, and he was promising. I mean, at the age of 19 years old, he's winning like goal of the season, numerous player of the month awards. He was always very, very exciting in League One. But since the last year, he has started to explode. He got a move to Luton, but more importantly, he went ahead and became a fully fledged international for Norway. Now, he is originally from Liverpool, but he represents Norway, and on his Norway debut at the age of 23 years old, not only did he score in the game, he grabbed an assist, and he looked very, very comfortable in a midfield that had the likes of Aasgaard in there. And you start to look around at the Norwegian squad and you see a certain Haaland up front. It's a no bad wee outfit, and he looked like he belonged in that company. And you know, I just want this video to be done and dusted so I can just see people's reaction, because I've seen what people's been saying about Joe. He's a very good player, I like it, right? Centre back, he's a raw potential, he's got the tools, he could become Son. Max Aarons, again, is a good player. We needed a right back, but we've not yet had that attacking creative player that people's been screaming for, saying we need. Well, I think we might have just got him, ladies and gentlemen, if it all goes well and he's able to handle the weight of the shirt and be that swaggering individual that he is right now, because that's how he plays. And you know, something we normally do with the player profiles, if there is comparable, is to look at a player in our team and say, oh, he's a bit like this, or he's a next one of that, just to help people really paint the picture of what they could potentially be in a team. And again, we've mentioned the likes of Ken, and we've mentioned the likes of Hadji, and I think it's a perfect little mixture, because there is times he really looks like Hadji, but he's much quicker than Hadji, he's more robust than Hadji, he can handle the challenges, he can run all day, and again, he's got that directness that Ryan Kent had when he was at his best, and that fearlessness to take people on, which is very, very vital. And again, he can play on the left, he can play in the 10, and ladies and gentlemen, he can also play as a very, very aggressive attacking 8, depending on the formation, which really opens the door, and it gives him the opportunity to use him whichever way he feels necessary. As we've already talked about several times, Russell Martin's formations might line up as a 5-3-2 on paper, 3-5-2, a 4-2, 3-1, but if you actually watch how he suffocates the opposition and piles people forward, this kid could line up and start anywhere in the midfield or the attacking areas and be really, really effective. And that's impressive to me, being a 23-year-old who's played left, he's played right, he's played as a 10, and he's played at an 8. In every single position, he has impacted with goals and assists. And again, playing week in and week out at the age he is, at League One, then bouncing up to the Championship, and then doing it at the international scene is something to get really excited about, in my personal opinion. So truly, I didn't see anything more about again. I like this. But I guess it's enough talking about the player profile. Let's go ahead and hit you with some numbers and stats, because I know that's very important to a lot of people. But starting off, what you need to know, last season he played for 2 clubs, as he just joined Luton in January, as they were in a sort of scramble to try and salvage whatever they could to prevent relegation, which did seem looming and did seem obvious. But again, they grabbed him from Wigan after he's progressed all the way through there, and they've done a wonderful, wonderful job. Well, using him at the right time, building up with game time, really developing him year upon year upon year to where he did deserve the move, and he certainly did, to Luton. Now, was he excellent for Luton in terms of goals and statistics and everything? Probably no, ladies and gentlemen, but if you look at how the Luton fans are feeling right now and how fuming they are about the fact that this man is leaving, I think it maybe suggests we've got ourselves a truly top player right now, and even his magic and even his creativity couldn't go ahead and muster Luton's saviour from the old relegation battle, although he did push them close, and he was a driving force, especially over a couple of games, to get them close. But again, the defence was absolutely garbage, and it never done enough. They pushed them over the edge. But again, we talk about robust, and we talk about being able to play. Last season he played a total of 48 games in which he bagged in 14 goals, again from the middle of the park, with 3 assists to a boot, which again is actually a number that makes you go, how the hell is that? But yeah, go and watch the comps and look at the finishing. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a miss of the season. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you probably already watched it as well, right enough. But he puts a ball into the mixer. The goalie doesn't come move for it. The big centre forward's got the dire goal to hit. Just there, anything on target, but he serials it and bangs it out of the bar. It's unbelievable. Again, you can only ever put the ball on the plate. You can only take a horse to water. You can't make it drink. But the main priority for me is seeing that he is creative. How much he does create per game. How much does he create off the dribble? Again, it's all impressive numbers when you want to go ahead to really dive into it. But to save you is getting a migraine, save you is getting doing that, I'll just tell you that. He's very, very creative and very good at dribbling the old football. But that was his last season, ladies and gentlemen. That was his last season of football. And if I'm honest with you, as harsh as this is to sound, it's a shame that Luton did get relegated. But I feel like if they never got relegated, he wouldn't be coming up the road to Rangers right now, as Luton would be really being able to hold on to him tight and argue this and argue that and go against and play real hard ball. But the fact they were relegated again is obviously unfortunate for them, but it can be fortunate for other people, and I think we went ahead and stole an absolute diamond from that situation, and I can't wait to see him going ahead and playing. But that was just his last season, and that, I think if you take a step back and look at his entire footballing CV, as again there's not too much to dive into Luton, as he was just there for 6 months. His entire career prior was at Wigan, where again he was excellent, breaking through as a youngster, being able to play, building his way up, learning, adjusting. And I think what they've done with him very well is they moved him about quite a lot. They never just got him settled to be a one-trick pony out on the left-hand side. They moved him to the right. Again, they played him as an 8, they played him as a 10, and that's why he's got a mantelpiece fill a Player of the Month awards. That's why, despite being the young age he is, he has scored goal of the season winners in terms of the league and all those man of the matches. Is that he's an exciting, talented player that when it clicks, again, it gets everybody excited. And if you like the attacking side of the game, you'll like this kid a lot. But again, taking a step back and looking at his entire footballing CV, for those that was frustrated about Emmanuel Fernandes not playing too many games at the age that he is, well, we go ahead and look at another 23-year-old, and this time the progression, the development, the game time is all there to be seen, because at the age of 23 years old, he's played a total of 181 games for club and for country. During that time, he's picked up 33 goals and 13 assists, which when you chuck it all together is what, 46 goal contributions in 181 games, which is a goal or assist what, just over every 4 games, or around about that total. At the age 23, while still learning your craft, while still learning the game and developing as a player, you've already been this impactful for where again you're not exactly playing in a team that's expected to win week in and week out and be ball dominant. You know what I mean? He was only getting a couple of opportunities, a wee couple of chances. We know he's coming up to Rangers. Well, he will see a look Mary the ball. Those impressive stats again suggest he is a very, very talented attacking player. But again, he could take that to the next level as if he translates to this league, can handle the pressure, can handle the expectations of winning every week, which he seems like he actually will, and he wants to drive himself to be the absolute best that he can be. Again, for me, there is nothing to sit and look at this deal and look at this kid and look at this guy's stats and complain about. It's everything you're wanting. Averaging a goal or assist every 4 games at that age, at the level he was playing, for the teams, no disrespect, that he was actually playing for. Yeah, we might have some here. Now, of course, the word might is the king of that sentence, but why go on your holidays and expect it to rain? Just enjoy yourself, you know what I mean? Be positive, expect the best, or hope for the best is maybe the best way to actually say it, especially supporting his football club. Again, there's a hell of a lot to get excited about if you want. Obviously, he is a winger, so yes, his dribbling goes this way. He sometimes loses the ball, sometimes his shot doesn't go in the top corner, sometimes the defender will occasionally catch him, but that's the life and death for a winger. Every single winger you have ever seen in your life has been tackled before. Every winger in your life has seen a shot go wide. So again, for me, there's more positive than negatives around this one, and again, it answers a lot of what we've been asking for right here on the channel. Just a bit of excitement and creative flair. The kids obviously got it. But to get closer and closer towards the end of the video, to wrap up with the old competition for places, again, he is playing out on the left hand side occasion. He does play in the number 10, and as we already mentioned earlier, he can also slot in that number 8, and it'll open so many doors again for Russell Martin. He's definitely a tool that can be played in multiple areas and be effective. How will he get used? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Let's skip to Panathinaikos again with the wee click remote and find out. That would be absolutely sensational. But again, he strengthens multiple areas while putting himself in the head of the pecking order, in my opinion, in multiple areas, especially out wide and even in to that 10 role. You think about the likes of Tom Lawrence going out and Hadji going out. That's gap that's been created right there. I think he jumps in right there. The left-hand side is what it is with Aasgaard. The right-hand side is McCausland and Dowell. I didn't want to get into it. Definitely jump right to the front of queue. Definitely will get the game time, and I think that's why Rangers have gone ahead and splashed in the cash when they found out this kid is available. But that's me, all done and dusted. Again, we never speculate on fees. I know some people expect it to be 5, some people expect it to be 4, some people expect it to be 6, blah, blah, blah. I try not to speculate on these type of stuff because one source says one thing, one or the other. It doesn't ever bother me. It is a long-term contract. They clearly believe in the kid, so let's see what he can do when he goes on and pulls the shirt, and I'm going to wish him all the absolute best and send him all the positive energy I possibly can and hope he can be a guy for us next season. But that's how I feel about the transfer. That's how I feel about the latest arrival of what will be many arrivals lately and soon to come, if I'm honest with you. But let me know your opinions down in the comments section below. Are you happy? Are you mad? Are you sad? Or are you glad? As always, shout out to the legends that have signed up to the channel Legends memberships on the channel. We greatly appreciate it, as we do for those that signed up to the supporter range as well, which is sensational. Thank you all so much for signing up. And again, to each and every single person takes time out their day to listen to this greying man, I greatly appreciate you. And again, thank you all so much for carrying this channel close to 67,000 subscribers. Certainly never take it for granted, and it's absolutely unreal that he's continued to stick with me year upon year. I'm going to try my best to make this year on the channel the best that I possibly can for various different levels of content and various stuff that I can bring that I'm trying to put into place and try and reward you guys for supporting me all these years. But until then, I've been Sage992. I'll maybe be seeing you very soon. You just never know these days. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. All the best and bye-bye.